Other video request from Martin R. Cruz. So I guess you're not Martino007 anymore. He's like my #1 commenter. He wants people to subscribe to him. He's going to do a lot of talking videos and stuff too, so you might want to check into him. And happy birthday, Martino007. Hi Kyle, how are you? Next video request. What are your top 20 favorite cities in the whole world overall and why? Thanks, and be sure to subscribe to me because I'm planning to do some more talking about stuff videos or whatever I can come up with or whatever the request is, if any. Please comment on my YouTube homepage in the discussion section. Have a nice day. Alright. Hey, maybe you should comment on the question I asked you on your video the other day. You never answered me that. If you're going to do request videos for people, you got to start by answering their comments on your video. And then you can do request videos. It's a baby steps. Okay. So let's see here. What are my top 20 favorite cities in the world? Okay. I haven't even thought about this. I'm doing this right off the top of my head. Okay. #1, Boulder, Colorado, where I grew up. Best city in the world. It's 100,000 people, just under 100,000. So it's almost a city. They didn't get their federal funding for a city, but now we have enough money anyway. So. It's awesome because it's got the mountains right nearby, and it's got like even in the flat part around it, lots of green. It's the green belt, lots of trails and stuff. Really cool people, open-minded people, healthy people, good economy. There's there's always something to be said about that. Ski resorts right near. I love America. You got 4 seasons: spring, summer, fall, and winter, all distinct. And the running trails all up in the Flatirons, amazing. A lot of the university brings lots of good, intelligent, people to come and do the talks or whatever. And it's great, man. Right next to Denver. I love Boulder. Okay, second best city in the world, Amsterdam. I love Amsterdam, Netherlands. It's amazing, man. It's like legalized everything. Legalized marijuana, legalized prostitution, legalized magic mushrooms. You go there, the people are super friendly. They all speak English. Bike paths everywhere. You can bike all over the city, and the bike paths are completely separate from the roads. You don't even have to have a car. And throughout the entire country is like that. It's amazing. You've got the concentric circles of all the different waterways that then freeze over in the wintertime, so you can skate over them, and the little boats on them, and it's beautiful, man. It's like, it's not a grid system. It's really confusing to ride around, which makes it exciting and not boring at all, man. So let's see, third city, I would say Rome, because of all the history, man. Rome has had such a detailed history of everything that's ever happened, and all the archaeology from all the different times of history are all relics there that you can check out. And I mean, I've heard, I was there only for 3 days, so I didn't really experience it, but I heard it's just the city of love, and people are like full of love, and Italy, dude. Italy, great food, good pizzas, even though they fold, they taste good. And Italians are friendly. I didn't experience them to be very good at English, but I didn't experience them to have a grudge against me as an American. They just kind of, love everybody. There's a lot of pickpockets there, but yeah, it's a great place to study history, and it's got an amazing history. So to study history and look at all their artifacts and imagine the specific stories that happened in the past in certain places, it's just amazing. So let's see, fourth coolest city in the world, I'd say Los Angeles. Los Angeles is just really vibrant. A whole lot of people just funnel there who have big dreams, and it kind of makes a dog eat dog world where people just can kind of walk over each other and stuff, but in the end they all create magic, and they all make all this music and Hollywood and news shows come out of there, and it's just amazing place. And it's right next to the mountains, big mountains right there. Great surfing beaches right there. Lots of different cultures mixing together. Just a lot of energy. It's right there on the vortex. 33.3 degrees north. Same as this Cydonia and on Mars, and Coral Castle and Florida, and the Great Pyramid. So where the energy comes in from the stars, funnels right in through there. Like if you put a little triangle inside of the Earth. So a lot of energy there. LA. So that's the fourth. Fifth, I would say New York. I've never been there, but people who come from there are just so like supportive of it, so proud to be New Yorkers and just love it. I saw the movie. What was it? The Bike Courier movie with Joseph Gordon-Levitt. And that looked. I saw the street scenes, and it looked like a nice place. Just lots of just streets everywhere and buildings everywhere, and lots of different people all jammed in there. Who can all communicate. When you get a bunch of people jammed together, from lots of different cultures, you can like a lot more is possible. People can communicate and do this, do that, and the other, and it's just a lot of energy. So that's 5. 6, I would say Tokyo, because it's such a big city. It's the biggest city in the whole world. And the Japanese are really amazing people. I went there for 3 days or something like that, and they're just lights all over the place on the buildings, and they're really open-minded people, like a lot of freedom, really sexually liberated. They have a whole sex area where people do sex acts with each other when you pay. I didn't look at it, but and all the creativity that comes out of that, and the hard work, and the history of Japan is. I just have a lot of affinity for that place, that country. So let's see. That's 5th. So that's the first quarter. Okay, 6th. Let's see here. Austin, Texas. I really like Austin. I was born and raised there until I was 6, and it has an energy of anything goes and freedom and enjoying life and open-mindedness, and a lot of tattoos everywhere and people looking funky, and t-shirts that they keep Austin weird. And the city itself is really beautiful. They have this huge lake that goes right through it. It's actually the Colorado River that's dammed up, and it's people. And it's since it's Texas, South Texas, it's really warm, and so the water's nice and warm. You can go in there and swim around in it. Barton Springs is cold though, but it's so hot you can jump in the water and then jump out and be warm. And mountain bike trail right in the middle of the actual city, right there from Barton Springs, that you can go up, and then the hills, and then Lake Travis is right there, and just a lot of nature. Oasis in the middle of Texas, and a good economy, a lot of smart people funneling there. So. That's number 6. Number 7, how about Athens, Greece? I really liked Athens just because of the history, and the energy there was amazing. All the different Greeks around there, around the base of the Acropolis, and all of those, like, what do you call them? Those like Middle Eastern style burritos and stuff that you can get that are really cheap, and the people are really friendly, and all the narrow roads and the history and the museums and the Acropolis up on the top looking around, and I just felt a lot of soul there. I liked Athens. That's 7. Number 8. Let's see here. Helsinki. I really liked Helsinki. That was in Finland. Cities with a lot of money, a lot of affluence, because they're really affluent up there. It allows people to have a lot of quality of life, and there were a lot of just, it was just a peaceful place. I felt like it was a peaceful place and being really far up north. It's a cool place to visit, because you can experience the day lasting forever, which kind of allows you to have a really, productive day, and then kind of live in your own schedule and not have to, follow the schedule of the sun coming up and down, and then the wintertime it's all dark all the time, so then you can kind of, I don't know, it just allows you to be more original, more live on your own schedule. But the city itself was pretty. It was really big, a lot of historical buildings, and it was right there on the ocean, and a lot of islands, and people enjoying the island area and the old fortress there, and yeah. Okay, 8. Ooh, Trondheim, Norway, dude. Trondheim, Norway is beautiful. I was there for like a week and a half with my friend, and it's like a normal sized town with a city, with a university, but in my friend's neighborhood there was like 200 kilometers of lighted ski trails out there, and like forest right next to the house, so you could hike through. Amazing place, and like magic mushrooms growing in the earth, and right there next to the sea. But then there's big mountains that jet up, and affluent, and lots of and peaceful, and lots of friendly people, and but they still have a lot of nature. So I really like that. That's number 7. Number 8. Stockholm, Sweden, man. Stockholm, Sweden was amazing. They had bike paths all over the place, and they had like islands all over. It seemed like Stockholm was just a bunch of islands connected to each other with these big bridges, and so like there were a lot of boats that going around, and anywhere that's like next to water and incorporates a lot of water with it is just amazing place, beautiful, and and a lot of historical buildings too. You had the ancient uh, um, like castle and tower that was still there from the olden times with the royal family, and then right out from it comes this big pedestrian mall that people walking up and down outside. I love outdoor pedestrian malls. I think every city should have one. Boulder has one, and then of course bike paths right on the edges of the islands next to the water all throughout, and it's a big city, but a lot of a lot of nature around. So all the islands and water. Number 8, I would say Copenhagen, Denmark. I loved Copenhagen. It was right next to the water, friendly people. They had that, and bike paths everywhere. It seems like half the people ride around on bike paths. When you ever get to a red light, there's like 20, 30 bikes that just stop there and then go, and not racing, just a nice cruiser bikes, and throughout the whole country they have bikes, but in the middle they have these big lakes, these big like square lakes that go through there, and it's right next to the ocean. And then there's that place Christianston where they have like all the hippies, and the cops don't bother them, and you can buy marijuana in there, and any city where you can buy marijuana is awesome. And it just seemed really peaceful. They also have another like downtown historical section with a outdoor pedestrian walking area. So that's number 8. Number 9. I never went to Berlin, but I hear a lot of cool things about Berlin, but I can't say. I guess I'll include Berlin. Big nightlife, even though I've never been there. I just heard. That's really cool. Okay, number 10. Let me rack my brain here. Now we're getting into San Francisco, dude. San Francisco's amazing. I mean, just really steep hills, and only they built a city on top of some really steep hills, which I think is really cool. And then you've got the Golden Gate Bridge that goes across that big bay, and then that big bay with the island in there, and all the culture and all the stuff that was invented out of San Francisco. It's kind of like, like all the hippie movement came out of Berkeley, all the computer movement came out of Silicon Valley, and just a lot of, and since the beginning it was a really cosmopolitan place. All the Chinese moved there, and all the different people, with the gold rush, like all these people, ambitious people. Whenever you get a place with a whole bunch of ambitious people funneling in, they create magic after a while. I think that was number 10. Number 11, Seattle, dude. I love Seattle. Seattle's just like San Francisco, only it's like a San Francisco that's not quite on so much steroids. It's just like more mellow. There's more nature, it seems like there's more lushness. It rains more, it seems like. Everything's greener, but it's really similar to San Francisco in that downtown area. It's really steep, goes way up to the top of this hill, and then way down, and all the way to the sea. And so basically, it's this like little stretch, almost you could call it an island, little stretch of land, which is just jam packed where the downtown area is, and all the skyscrapers and everything. Or you can buy like magic mushroom kits legally right there on the Fisherman's Wharf there, and there's like all these lakes all throughout Seattle. You go inland, and there's another big lake, and they have that big inland lake, kind of really similar to San Francisco, that goes in the little stretch, and the bridges going across it. And I mean, so many people with boats, living on boats. I hung out with a guy who lived in a boat. One of my YouTube subscribers, got stoned with him. He hooked me up with some hash, and he lived right there on the boat on the sea. And then you can take the ferry across to the other part. And then the hot springs out there in the Olympics, and the mountains you can see out there, and then the snow-capped Mount Rainier, which looks like it's right there, even though it's 100 miles away, and just amazing. Really friendly people too, and really big, and a lot of culture, and good economy, and yeah, man. So number 12, let's see here, Las Vegas, dude. Oh my God, Las Vegas is amazing. Las Vegas is like the people there are so outgoing, most outgoing people I've ever seen in my entire life. They're just um, always approaching you and talking to you and being friendly and asking about your life. And people who work there are supposed to do that, but you can tell that they like doing it. And even when you leave the Central Strip area, everybody else around there is like that too, like in the Starbucks and stuff. They just like in the people who work in the Starbucks and the people drive up through the drive-through. The people are like, "Hey, what's up, Johnny? Yeah." I mean, just a lot of energy. It's like LA. And then the Strip, it's amazing. It's like being on some spaceship. It's like it's its own little biostructure that they created with all the like fake volcanoes, and then the water show with all the like timed to the watt to the music and the songs they have on the fake Eiffel Tower that you can go to the top of and look at, and all in like you can go, all the city, all the buildings are connected basically, and like a pedestrian can walk around because you can go across the big strip over on the overpasses and stuff. And they should legalize rollerblades, because if they did that, then you could like rollerblade all over and check it out and go inside. Or when you're inside, you're kind of like in a spaceship because it's just huge in there, and all this like all the art deco that they have in there, all the different construction architecture is amazing. Like that big pyramid, you go in the pyramid and you're inside of a big pyramid, and it's a hotel, and it's an amazing place, man. So that's 12. Number 13. 13. Okay, well now I'm kind of drawn for straws. It could be any city now at this point, but I'll say Sydney, Australia is a pretty cool place, just because of how pretty it is. It's like they have this big bay that goes in it, and the King's Cross area is really steep, and they have these. I like cities that are on steep hills and stuff, hilly cities. It has really, and then they have the like the tram where you can go around. Only it's elevated, so you can like on the side of the buildings. I thought that was really pretty. Okay, 14. I'll say San Diego. San Diego's a cool place because it's really hilly. I love hilly places, hilly cities. Right next to the ocean. They have a huge zoo there. It's right next to Mexico. Southern California. I can't beat it. That was number 13. Number 14. I'd say Honolulu, Hawaii. Even though I've never been there. I mean, come on, Hawaii. Like all the surfing and the warm water and the volcanoes, and it's on the vortex there. I love it, man. I'd totally want to go there. 15. I think I'm going to go for Belgrade, Serbia. Belgrade, Serbia. I don't know. There's just it's a poor country, so it's kind of hard to pick out the magic. But and they don't clean up after themselves. They allow themselves to get trash everywhere, but. It's right on the confluence of two big rivers, and they have this big castle right above the rivers, and it's just you feel like you're in the middle of nowhere, when you're there, but it's hilly, and then they have this when the rivers come together, they have this like old river, I guess, but it's like a lake, and you can go around the whole thing, and it's like surrounded by all of these like bars and stuff, and in the summer it's supposed to be this great party place, and it's just. Yeah, I like the scenario, the setting of it. Okay, number 17. These are cities that I've been to, right? So I don't know. I mean, I'm sure there's plenty of cities I haven't been to that are pretty cool. Kathmandu, man. Kathmandu, Nepal has a lot of magic. And I haven't been to India yet, so maybe there's places in India that do. But you can see the mountains there. It's got a nice crispy, climate. It's not too cold in the winter and not too hot in the summer, and it's nice and elevated. And Nepalese are really friendly, really soft, nice people. A lot of history where you can see the old temples and the Eastern culture there. Okay, 16, 17. Bangkok, Thailand. I really liked because it's got those canals everywhere. I love cities that have a lot of nature. And like there's canals everywhere throughout the whole city, and the sexually really liberated. And even though I didn't go to any of those sexual like places, but and I didn't experience that much. But the ancient like city they have in there, with the reclining Buddha and the old the royal palace. It's like its own city within a city, and I thought that was really cool. I think that was 17. Number 18, I'm going to go with Beijing, just because they have the city in there, even though I've never been there. I'm just going to throw Beijing in there. 19. Oh man, wasn't I? Oh, Paris. Paris wasn't cool, dude. I should have put Paris actually farther up front. I was in Paris only one day, but I rode my bike across France, and generally, I met some friendly French people, but I also met more than my share of like rude French people who were like looking at me like once they found out I was American, they scowl at me. But when I went to Paris, they were really friendly. Everybody was really friendly, man. I love the French in Paris. From the cops who escorted me off of this highway because I accidentally got on the highway and was friendly to me, to the people who told me to just put my bike on the subway. You can put your bicycle on the subway in Paris, which I think is really cool. And all of the history there, the Champs-Élysées. I went up to the top of the Eiffel Tower. I know tourists spend more money there than even in America, more than anywhere in the country, but there's a lot to see. I want to go back there and check out the Louvre. I didn't check out the Louvre. I didn't check out Versailles. And the city, it has like a central area where they have all the skyscrapers, and really interesting skyscrapers too. Like this one skyscraper that goes up like a big like arch, which I'd never seen before. I thought that was really cool. But then the rest of the city is just the older the part of the town. Older buildings, so it's kind of like your classic European city with lots of soul. Okay, that was 19. On number 20, dingy 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 dingy. I don't know, dude. Stretching my brain. Sarajevo. Sarajevo was pretty. It's a tiny little town right there in the mountains. All the mountains around there are beautiful. Ski resorts everywhere. Really great historical center, but also, Estonia, the capital, Tallinn, Estonia. Their central area was amazing, man. It was like, it was all pedestrian. All these like old churches and towers and old buildings, just perfectly preserved, man. I think I'll have to put that above Sarajevo. So number 20 will be Tallinn, Estonia. All right, battery's about to die. Peace out.